It's 3 who are supporting the government or the BJP point of view about the hypocrisy of this tonight, and it's 4 who feel that there is every single reason for these various intellectuals, writers and poets to return their Sahitya Akademi awards, because they say that the creative situation and the circumstances and atmosphere is suffocating. The government is not doing enough. The ruling establishment is not doing enough to take away that suffocating atmosphere for creative people, writers, authors, intellectuals and thinkers. So it's 3 for the government, 4 against. On this panel tonight, with me in the studio, Shobhaa, very concerned. Keki Daruwalla, poet and author, very, very concerned as well. Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy of JNU, very concerned. Sharmistha Mukherjee, not just concerned, but the Congress spokesperson is very angry. Ratan Sharda of the RSS, R Venkatesh, who leans towards the BJP. And I make this disclosure tonight, MR, because I know that this accusation has been made in the past that I don't do a full disclosure on you. Hence I say tonight he leans towards the BJP on this subject.
You are entitled to it. You are entitled to it, Arnab.
Yes, thank you. Dr Sambit Patra of the BJP, let me start with you. Sambit Patra, you must be terrible for you to see all these great intellectuals. Whether it is noted Malayalam novelist Sarah Joseph, Nayanthara Sehgal, Ashok Bajpai, Uday Prakash, now Rahman Abbas. I was told that poet K. Sachidanandan has also announced his decision to resign from all memberships of the committee, and now we have people resigning from the General Council of the Sahitya Akademi. You should be concerned, because if there is no heterogeneity in thinking in the ruling establishment, everyone who's going to be part of the Sahitya Akademi generally leans towards the BJP. You should be concerned, not just at this fact, Sambit, but the circumstances that have led to it. It is undeniable that there have been incidents of communal violence under previous governments. But look at the way in which ministers, MPs, MLAs from the ruling party are making highly objectionable and polarizing and provocative comments unimpeded so far, despite the comments of the Prime Minister this week, gives the perception that the state is complicit in polarization. Sambit Patra, open the debate and then it's open to others. Yeah, Sambit Patra.
Let me begin by an explicit example. Since Nayanthara ji was the one who led the campaign, let me give the example of Nayanthara Sehgal. Nayanthara Sehgal got the award, I believe, in 1986, just 2 years after the 1984 riots, where approximately 3,006 were butchered and killed on the streets of Delhi and other places in India. And if you would remember, we were talking about comments made by ministers and MLAs. But if you remember in 1984, when this was asked to Rajiv Gandhi, the then Prime Minister, he had commented saying that, well, yes, if a big tree falls, the earth shakes. In a way, he had stamped the legitimacy of the riots. Where was Nayanthara Sehgal ji then? Why did she receive the award in the first place if she felt that the state, none other than the Prime Minister, was the one to say that the riots were right? And today you say in the opening statement that the Congress spokesperson is angry. Why is she angry? Why is she angry is my question.
Let's ask her, Sharmistha Mukherjee, why are you angry? Sambit Patra says there's nothing to be angry about.
First of all,
you should be questioning Nayanthara Sehgal instead. He starts the debate by immediately giving a political spin to Nayanthara Sehgal accepting the award in 86, 2 years after 84. That point is not lost on others. It is a valid point. Please respond. Outrage can't be selective only when a BJP government is in power.
Two things.
Sharmistha Mukherjee.
Just a minute, Arnab. Firstly, I don't know from where did you decipher that I'm angry. I'm not angry. I'm quite calm.
So you're pleased,
and
I say.
Your
then
debate
you're pleased.
Now, especially I'm trying
Should
to
I say
remain
that
calm.
you're very pleased with the situation right now?
Secondly, no, I'm not pleased. There is something, there is maintaining a calm. That is what I'm trying to do.
Unusual, but yes, please. Unusual,
but still
please.
I'm trying to do.
I welcome it.
Yes.
It's just unusual.
So, but the main point is, every riot, every communal riot is absolutely condemnable. There is no doubt about it. But one thing is a mass violence where, but
mass
another
violence?
is that deliberately somebody is being killed, deliberately, selectively someone is being killed, because of
so
our thought
so you were showering petals of rose flower on 6th way back in 1984.
I'm not at all. Don't put words. Don't put words in my mouth.
Arnab conducted of Rahul Gandhi, your leader. Rahul Gandhi accepted on air. I would request Arnab to play that piece where Rahul Gandhi said that, well, yes, some congressmen were responsible for the 1984 riots.
I have never said, I have begun with saying that any kind of violence, any kind of communal violence is absolutely condemnable. So don't put words in my mouth.
So why did not Nayantara Sehgal see this? Why did not Nayantara Sehgal see the 1984 riots?
Because there is a difference. Here
what is the difference? What is the difference?
A writer has been killed deliberately, selectively. It is not
that
just
was a secular
riot.
It is a murder. This is a communal right, madam.
It is a murder.
Okay, MR Venkatesh. MR Venkatesh. MR Venkatesh. My question is, MR Venkatesh. One at a time. Now, Sharmistha Mukherjee. Miss Mukherjee, one at a time. MR comes to the debate.
Color to a right? Are you going to be color to a right? What is this? Murder is a murder, madam. Please understand, a murder is a murder. We have to be outraged on every single violence. Every single person has a right to live. You must be outraged on every single killing. You cannot say
yes,
this killing
I do agree. I absolutely do agree.
Then condemn. Then where were these people? Where were these people? Where were these people?
When did I say I'm not
when
condemning
Bombay riots happened? Where were these people?
I started with saying that these are absolutely condemnable.
I will tell you the problem is that a patronaging state.
You please tell me what is the problem. But I started condemning these all the.
Sharmistha, could you take a back seat for a while?
Which patronaging state is absent today? These leftists, these liberals were being patronized by your government for such a long time, and today they find that
Shobhaa, they on the other side tonight.
Where they are doing this.
So that's right. They were being
no. Okay, Sharmistha, it's not a one-sided debate. I let Shobhaa then come to the debate and respond to MR Venkatesh. No, it's a valid point. No, 1 second. 1 second, please. MR, pull back. 1 second. You're the other side tonight. A valid question raised, and I would like to phrase that question with an example to Shobhaa. Miss Shobhaa, there are people resigning. Where was they say, we are hurt, our conscience is hurt, we feel bad. Now, Ms. Shobhaa, where was their conscience during the Kokrajhar riots in Assam in 2012 when 78 people died under a Congress government? Secondly, where was their right to dissent? Why did they hold on for dear life, if I may say so, with their Sahitya Akademi awards and positions during the 2013 Muzaffarnagar riots? 62 people died under a UPA-led center and a friendly Samajwadi Party-led government. Nayantara Sehgal didn't feel anything. Nobody said anything. Now the third question is, you talk about outrage. 25 people died in the biting cold in relief camps in Muzaffarnagar in January 2015. Where were these people? Why did they not protest then? Why did they hold on to their positions? Hypocrisy, therefore, is the issue.
I'm sorry, Arnab. I don't agree with this line of argument.
Why not?
I'm distressed that a very important, very sensitive issue is being dissected in this cynical fashion.
What's cynical about?
It's about Congress versus the BJP. We are, throughout history, Arnab, writers, filmmakers, poets, anybody who is... They have the right to decide what they wish to be outraged
only
against.
When BJP is in power.
So don't bring politics into it. I think the fight is not.
MR, you'll have to let her finish. MR, you'll have to let MR, you have to let her finish. You have to let her finish. This is the news hour. Let her finish, please. And when she completes her point, I will get Ratan Sharda to respond to it. Sambit Patra, 1 minute. Hold on. Sambit Patra, hold on 1 minute. Yes.
This is not just
Sambit, hold on. Sambit, let Shobhaa complete.
She may also return her award.
Sorry.
Freedom of expression.
This is not just a fight. Excuse me.
Sambit, let her complete. We have enough time. I see your hand go up, Kamal Mitra Chenoy. I will come to you.
This is not just a fight about writers or poets or filmmakers or creative people. It's a fight that should involve every single one of us.
Right.
When we have an academy that does not bother to condemn, forget about condemning the killing of Kalburgi, they don't even offer condolences to the family. I think there's something seriously wrong that's happening in our country. We're obliged to raise our voices. The writers who have protested are not some lightweight writers. They stand for something. They stand for something.
Can you please confirm and say whether a condolence message was, whether a sorry message was sent
why
to
aren't you listening to that? Why are you bringing in your BJP Congress politics? Why aren't you listening to sane voices?
Confirm whether a sorry
Can you not open your ears and heart and listen to sane voices?
Of Professor Joseph
Silence
when
is
his hand
complicity.
was chopped off by the popular front of Kerala because
the Prime Minister is tweeting about the Ankara blast.
Where were you then?
Why isn't he not saying anything and condemning the violence in our society? This is not about just one incident. There are inflection points in society. Why did we respond to just Nirbhaya? There are rapes every single day in our country. There are thousands of people against whom there's a lot of injustice.
Now we have.
Why are you bringing in your BJP Congress politics?
Okay, Sambit.
Do not demonize writers. Do not demonize writers. They have a right to protest.
When 3,006 are killed,
they have a right to protest on what they feel outraged about. You cannot decide what they should protest about. You cannot be selective and say you protest about this and not about that.
But why are you all bringing a bad name to the country internationally?
We can pick
you
what
all
we
are
want
bringing
to
a bad name to the country internationally.
We can pick our causes.
You can pick your cause. I do. I say I agree. No, 1 second. On that I agree. I place on record. You have a right, Shobhaa, to pick your causes. Right? Everybody has a right to say, I will protest on this, I will not protest on this. What I have a right to do equally is question why you are being picky and choosy with your protests. We have Keki Daruwalla, well-known, celebrated poet, who has also taken a strong position on this and has returned his award. Now, Keki Daruwalla, you want to come into the debate? Can I ask you a question, Mr. Daruwalla? Because I saw some of your earlier comments, so would you like to begin with an opening remark? Go ahead, Mr. Daruwalla. Actually, jump straight into the debate. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Daruwalla. Floor is yours. I saw some of your earlier comments. Just raise. Go ahead, Mr. Daruwalla. Reduce your volume.
I want to first answer the question why authors are outraged. They are outraged because an author has been shot, because people are being killed, because they are speaking for reason against superstition. That's the answer.
A chartered accountant was killed in Chennai. Do we have to also say that chartered accountants were also protest? A lawyer was killed. Then the lawyer should go on strike. But these authors do not think that they cannot come from a different class. They are also like us. There's this tag of intellectualism. What is this intellectualism? Am I not an intellectual? Am I not
Can I add?
What is this intellectual about writing? I also write.
Can I add something?
Speak. What is this about? I have passed an exam, which is one of the most toughest exams in this country.
MR, Mr. Daruwalla wants to respond. If I may intervene in between both of you. No, watch it. If I may come in between both of you. MR, listen. Let's have a clear and open debate, okay? Let's have an open debate tonight. On this show, let's completely disagree with each other. But out of that synthesis, let something come out. Now, my question to you, and may I say this to you, Mr. Daruwalla, I respect you. We all know your body of work. We know where you come from. So do not take my question as a mark of disrespect. But my question to you, sir, is this. Please allow me one question to you, sir. If the centre can be held morally liable for the killing of Kalburgi, then why wasn't the centre, when the Congress party was in power, held responsible? When Dabholkar was killed, 65-year-old Dabholkar was killed in Pune's Shaniwarpet area when he was on a morning walk in August 20th, 2013. Why was the centre not held morally liable then, and why did people not resign then? Why for Kalburgi and not for Dabholkar?
Absolutely. May I say something? Firstly, about Kokrajhar, I went to Kokrajhar. 2012, 2 nights we spent, I went with Saida Hamid, and we saw all the disaster, gave a big report, whatever we could do, we did. That is one. Number 2, there is no politics in this. I am not bothered about the BJP, nor am I bothered about the Congress. Even in Karnataka, it is the Congress which is in power. It is not the BJP which is in power.
No, but you didn't answer my question about why, if the centre was held responsible for the killing of Kalburgi now. No, why did you just, sir, one question. No, sir, one question to you, which I now pass. I pass that question to Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy. My question is this: where were these same voices of protest? I'm coming to Ratan Sharda. Tell me, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, where were these voices of protest when it was the Congress-led centre that refused to ban the Sanatan Sanstha? The same group that has allegedly had a role to play in the killing of Pansare. How many people returned awards then? Why were they quiet at that point of time? Why were they quiet on Dabolkar? Where were the protests, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, when the Congress themselves patted themselves on the back, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, claiming to have passed anti-cow slaughter bans in many states much before the BJP came to power? Where was the literary circuit then, Kamal Mitra Chenoy? Tell me, let's go back to the debate. Go ahead.
Well, I think Shobhaa has a point. They have a right to choose when they think things have become very bad. Right. But I would like to state one instance, one instance which is very serious, and you have not mentioned. And that is the emergency. In the emergency from 1975 to 1977, there was a crackdown on freedom of expression. In JNU, we faced it. A number of us were jailed. A number of us, like me, were suspended and banned from campus. So the problem.
So answer my question. You're not answering my question. You're not answering my question. You are not answering my question. No, you are not answering my question. You are not answering my question. My question is, if the centre can be held morally liable for the killing of Kalburgi, why was the centre not held liable when Dabolkar was killed in August 2013? I am asking
freedom of expression.
No, sir.
Fine.
No, why were they?
The mistake of the Congress in 2013 cannot be explained
Ratan Sharda.
away. But now there has been an accumulation of attacks.
No, you're saying there was no accumulation of attacks then?
Attacks on freedom.
You're saying there was no accumulation of attacks then? No, I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
From the house of Mohammed Akhlaq.
Sorry, I completely...
Somnath Som, accused in Muzaffar, where I went with the team. We have a right to decide when enough is enough.
I don't know.
That why did
Ratan Sharda?
Why did
you could Ratan Sharda, please, 2 verses.
Kamal, just let me make a few points.
In 1984.
Excuse me, may I carry on?
Why didn't they return it later? That's no argument, Arnab.
No, it is certainly an argument.
It's an argument.
It is. I'm sorry.
Such an
No, Kamal Mitra Chenoy.
Writer has a right to choose the targets, but writer has to be unbiased, being a leader of the society, the conscience of the society. You cannot have biased view as a writer because you feel that you have certain bias against a leader. You talking about... Yes, that's the point. Let me explain. One single lynching and you create a fear psychosis. And there have been riots in UP and in Maharashtra and in various places. There have been oppression of Hindus in Bengal. Nobody speaks. Agnes of Fire drama was banned in Hyderabad just last week.
No one cares.
A girl was killed by the Marxists and Maoists because she wanted to study. There was no outcry. There was news about 4-year-old girl being banged to death because she refused to wear a scarf.
You can respond to her, sir.
But let me finish my argument.
But you're reading out things which have no relevance.
It has relevance because your outrage is purely selective.
No,
you cannot have selective outrage.
About injecting politics.
You said don't inject politics.
You are injecting politics.
You are saying don't inject politics.
We don't care which party is in power.
Okay, let it be politics.
We don't care whether it's the BJP or the Congress.
May I ask?
Injustice is injustice.
Let me ask you, if riots are in Gujarat, then Modi is responsible being a chief minister. If there are riots in UP or in Bengal, then Modi is responsible as the prime minister. What kind of argument is this? Is it not politics?
You know what
politically
Daruwalla said?
There is a political motive. These are Congress-appointed awardees. They want to score points. They have shown their loyalty to Congress. It's welcome. I have no problem. Let them return money also.
Listen to him. Shashi Deshpande, apolitical words. When
what did Karnataka do for Kalburgi? What did Chief Minister of Karnataka did for Kalburgi? Please come on.
Annihilation.
Was it responsible of Modi to police Karnataka?
There's nothing political about these statements.
But what is the statement? Does Kalburgi's murder demand Chief Minister action or not? Does it demand Prime Minister's action? Please let me know.
Do not reduce it to this murder, that murder. Writers are being systematically targeted.
You come to inflection. You come to inflection point.
No, watch it.
It has never happened.
No, watch it. R Venkatesh coming back to the debate, please. R Venkatesh is taking on Shobhaa once again, second time.
I don't agree that you writers belong to a separate class and you have a different yardstick for getting outraged on morality issues.
I'm saying writers are being targeted.
No, you are not claiming. You are claiming. What do you mean by targeted? You mean to say the person who was killed in Dadri was a writer? You mean to say the person who was killed in Dadri was a writer?
Listen.
Today I will tell you the most critical comments and debates are happening in Times now. Please understand this. The most critical of debates are happening in Times now. Is the government targeting you and me? No way. Sometimes I have been critical of this government. You have been critical of this government. What are you trying to say?
Has government targeted Times now?
No, please understand.
Has Arnab
you have a pathological problem. You have a bias against this government and you want to prove the loyalty to elsewhere. See, an intellectual thinks independently. Please understand. An intellectual thinks independently. Nine of them think in a pack. They are not intellectuals. First thing, please understand this, Shobhaa, that 9 of them cannot think collectively. They are acting in tandem. That is they are not intellectuals.
All right, 1 second, Shobhaa, R Venkatesh, please pull back. Pull back.
Rahul Ishwar was vandalized. Nobody spoke for him.
Pull back.
There is no debate.
Okay, now R Venkatesh, stop. Shobhaa, stop. MR, stop. Shobhaa, stop, please. Pull back. MR Venkatesh, I'm telling you.
Independent mind.
MR, no, Shobhaa, please stop. Shobhaa, stop.
This woman who had to apologize for the poetry she wrote in Police Journal.
Can you take a minute?
Against Sahitya Akademi violence.
Can you take a minute? You need to stop.
I'm not aligned.
You need both of you now need to pull back. Both of you now need to pull back. No, pull back, please. I also have a freedom of expression. May I please? Yeah, I'll come to you, Sambit. Please pull back. Pull back. Now, I have just one question. Writers' freedoms are being curtailed and hence people are resigning. Fine. I place on record my previous question that if the centre can be held morally liable for the killing of Kalburgi, why was the centre not held morally liable when Dabolkar was killed in August 2013? I have not got an effective answer to that question. My second question is this. Freedom of expression. Yes. What happened to freedom of expression when the satanic verses was banned? When Salman Rushdie was not allowed to visit Rajasthan in 2012? Yeah, exactly. 1 second. Freedom of expression. Was the secular fabric of India, which Kamal Mitra Chenoy is, waxing eloquent on, not under threat when there were 823 communal incidents in 2013, in which 133 people died, 2,269 people were injured? Where were the protests when the Congress themselves patted themselves on the back on the anti-slaughter bill? Was the secular fabric of India, Sharmistha Mukherjee, not under threat when 668 incidents happened in 2012, 94 people died, 2,117 people were injured? When there were 289 attacks, Shobhaa, on right to information activists across India? Why did Nayantara Sehgal and Ashok Vajpayee not return their awards after the Gujarat riots? Why did Nayantara Sehgal accept her award from a government in the aftermath of the anti-Sikh riots? Tell me. Answer my question. Why did Nayantara Sehgal, tell me again, since you made her an icon today of free speech, not return her award after the Mumbai riots, the Babri Masjid demolition? Babri Masjid demolition? Will there be a bigger event, a calamity, as far as the secular fabric of this country is concerned? How many of these people? Tell me, Sharmistha Mukherjee, did Nayantara Sehgal return her award after the Hashimpura massacre of 1987?
Arnab, why are we
because it's sudden.
Why are we making this one person a van?
Because if there's a sudden, I need to understand. Okay, Congress replying BJP on the other side. Now it's Sharmistha versus.
Because your rights were sleeping there.
I mean,
and suddenly you have woken up to your rights.
Sambit after Sharmistha. Sambit after Sharmistha.
That no Congress person tried to, no Congress ministers and MLAs tried to justify the killings like this, try to justify the riots. This is absolutely appalling, and now you are questioning the freedom of the writers.
Your own MLA this time last week.
What they are going to protest on, that is going to be decided by Mr. Aman or Mr. Arnab.
What was that? That was a lullaby or what?
That is their freedom. That is their choice.
Okay, what about Taslima Nasreen's freedom? Sorry, Sharmistha, I have one question for you.
No. Out of Bengal.
It is going to be dictated by you that what they choose.
What happened?
Arnab, I want to ask a question.
Sambit is asking a counter question, please. Arnab. We need to let each other be heard. And my question continues now. My number of unanswered questions now adds to what about the Congress party and Taslima Nasreen? Taslima Nasreen does not have rights. Salman Rushdie does not have rights. Now, counter question from Sambit Patra. Sambit.
Arnab, today in fact I have the statement of Nayantara Sehgal ji in front of me, where she says that, just a second, Nayantara Sehgal ji says that एक अखलाक बेचारे को घर से बाहर घसीट के मार दिया, and she says that ये बहुत अत्याचार हो रहा है. अब देखिए, Nayantara Sehgal ji is one who has roots from Kashmir. She got the award in 1986. 1990 saw the biggest exodus in the history of India from Kashmir, where Kashmiri Pandits were dragged out of their home. They were slaughtered, butchered, killed, raped, and they were driven out of their own homes. Nowhere else in this world ever this happened, that people in their own home became homeless. Where was she then? She is a Kashmiri. Where was she then when her own people were butchered in Kashmir? She doesn't have an answer. Such is the hypocrisy of such pseudo-intellectuals. I'll tell you, this is the biggest exodus of the left.
What
liberal.
happened in Kashmir is really a big tragedy. But that doesn't condone.
Everything is a tragedy. So why is the tear being shed today? If the tragedy was then, the tear is being shed today. Why no tears then?
Kamal Mitra Chenoy is responding to you as well. Sambit, you are going to get your next rebut from Kamal Mitra Chenoy. Kamal Mitra Chenoy on the other side with Sambit Patra, please. Kamal Mitra Chenoy is
decided by Mr. Sambit Patra, Mr. Arnab Goswami or Mr. Aman?
No, not at all. Certainly not by you either.
No. Kamal Mitra is decided by Sonia Gandhi, we know that.
No, definitely not by me.
But you...
Kamal Mitra Chenoy. Kamal Mitra Chenoy, only Professor Chenoy. Go ahead, Professor Chenoy, you're live. Go ahead, we can hear you.
In answer to Sambit, can I speak?
Yeah.
In Jammu and Kashmir, especially Kashmir, from 1989, yes, there were atrocities against Pandits, but luckily no mass slaughter. But what was Governor Jagmohan doing?
Luckily no mass slaughter. Should I read out the names? Should I read out the name of Mr. Should I read out the other names?
And the Kashmiri Muslims.
What is mass slaughter? एक अकेला अखलाक को घर से बाहर निकाल के मार दिया. Dadri had a mass slaughter. You are outraged, and we should all be outraged by even if a single man dies. Rightfully outraged, even if a single man dies. This is absolutely wrong on your part. It's absolutely wrong on your part, Dr. Mitra, to say that thankfully there was no mass slaughter. What do you mean by saying there was no mass slaughter of Kashmiri Pandits? What do you mean by saying that? Apologize. What do you mean by saying that?
Who has done what to whom?
Your rights wake up. 3,006 were killed. What do you call that? Mass slaughter or no mass slaughter?
Also for the demolition of the Babri
You should all go and hide your faces and not participate in this debate today, which is further exposing you. Tonight, all your hypocrisy is being exposed.
The Krishna Commission report has indicted you. But the fault
don't go into technicalities, Mr. Kamal Mitra Chenoy. No need of any technicality. Today, all your hypocrisy are being exposed. You say that thankfully there was no slaughter of Kashmiri Pandits. What do you mean by saying no slaughter of Kashmiri Pandits? 3,006 were killed.
Slaughter.
What was that?
Please look at your dictionary.
What dictionary?
They're well under 100.
You also have to return your award, but please don't
Can I come to the moot point? Can I bring the debate to the moot point, please, gentlemen? Gentlemen, please, pull back for a minute. I'm bringing the debate to the moot point. I'm bringing the debate to the moot point. No, Kamal Mitra Chenoy. Now, one second. I see another hand go up there. And we must be fair in the course of the debate, though I'm having a problem that you're actually putting your TV set on. So, we're hearing a feedback when you're speaking. But Keki Daruwalla, you understand the broader point that I'm making, sir. And my broader point to you, and my next question is to you, Keki Daruwalla. I believe that the right to protest in a peaceful manner is a total fundamental right. But why should the selective nature of that protest not be questioned? While the right to protest in a peaceful manner, Mr. Daruwalla, is a fundamental right, why should the belated awakening of internal conscience not be questioned? Is it not obvious that there is an underlying political bias? An underlying political bias, given their discriminatory nature. The only thing that has changed in the last 1 year is the government. You can't say it's non-political. Obviously it's political. Obviously it's political.
I can speak for, I can only speak for myself. I can only speak for myself. I have no political bias, number one. Number two, I don't see why this debate can't be brought back to the straight and the narrow. The real point was that authors have been shot and the Sahitya Akademi did not do enough for 40 days. They didn't even pass a condolence message. Not that the authors did very much till Nayantara Sehgal showed the way. That is number two. Number three, there is a background music, and the background music is Godse's idol being put up in a temple, Godse being called a good man, Niranjan Jyoti saying that dividing the country into Ramzadas, etc., and the others, and a minister going to Dadri and saying it was an accident. It was not an accident. 100 people go and beat up a man. Do you call that an accident?
Sir,
that is my answer, Mr. Goswami.
Sir, why? My next question, therefore, is to you once again. Tell me, with all the experience at your command tonight, Sambit, just one follow-up question to Mr. Daruwalla. Why is there a greater onus on the current dispensation than the previous one to maintain the cultural diversity and freedom of this country? Why were people quiet then? Second question to you is, you are saying Sahitya Akademi did not issue a statement in this particular case. Did the Sahitya Akademi issue a statement after Muzaffarnagar? Did the Sahitya Akademi issue a statement when in September 2011, the Gopalgarh riots swept through Congress-ruled, Ashok Gehlot-ruled Rajasthan, when there were so many people, 9 people who were killed and 30 people who were injured? There was a CBI investigation. Did the Sahitya Akademi say anything then? And if they did not, why were they quiet then and why are they speaking now?
Because a writer was not killed in those riots. The Sahitya Academy, yes, I'm sorry.
So you respond only about
rights. It is a body that represents writers and award writers.
Those were,
I'm sorry, it's a body that represents writers and award writers.
Those were communal riots.
One at a time.
Nothing to do with writing. They had nothing to do with authors.
I have nothing to do with
that is a fundamental question. They had nothing to do with writing.
Okay, one at a time. Only in the studio. Only in the studio. Only in the studio.
Writer is killed.
Can I, as a spokesperson,
what is this?
Okay, 1 second.
Why haven't you criticized the Chief Minister of Karnataka, who is in charge of the law and order, while looking at Modi for that?
Sir, I quote you,
what kind of law and order understanding you have?
Mr. Daruwalla,
you didn't raise any objection. You should have raised. You went to Assam, you came back without resigning. Now you are resigning. Now, by your own admission.
We are forgetting the
entire
bigger debate. We were not here to discuss BJP and Congress
There is no BJP. I didn't ask for BJP. I said Chief Minister or Prime Minister. Who is responsible? Please.
In our society.
Law and order. Who is responsible?
A writer has said this is a state of emergency. We're facing a second emergency. I think we need to look at that instead of talking
just
about
because he says
88-year-old lady who has returned something because she is feeling strongly enough.
Why didn't she not? Why didn't she not?
I can't
Why didn't she feel strongly earlier?
I cannot answer for Nayantara Sehgal.
Why didn't she feel strongly earlier?
It is a biased thinking.
But what has she to gain at 88?
Shobhaa, this is your biased thinking that comes out when you say when you say
I welcome. But why are you not charging?
Now, whether it is Krishna Sopti, Sarah Joseph, Nayantara Sehgal, Ashok Vajpayee, Uday Prakash, I personally welcome an awakening of the conscience.
Exactly.
I welcome. May I please? I welcome the awakening of the conscience. Yet I must observe that this conscience remained suppressed during the Hashimpura massacre of 87, during the anti-Sikh riots, during the Babri Masjid demolition, during the Gujarat riots, during the riots that happened in Rajasthan, during the fact when there were Kokrajhar riots, 78 people were killed. At all these instances, that this conscience remains suppressed is something which will not be lost on the people of this country. Sambit Patra is asking a counter question. Sambit.
Please.
Who's your question to?
This is a very important point that I'm going to raise. This is a very important point that I'm going to raise. Mr. Daruwalla, you are my senior of my father's age. I respect you, but you have asked certain questions. Since Nayantara is your campaign march holder, I mean she's a torch holder, the same question that Arnab is asking today has been asked to Nayantara ji. And you know what the answer of Nayantara was? Let me read out what Nayantara said.
What did she say?
Nayantara ji said, as to why she was not returning the award way back in 1986 and 87 after the 1984 riots. She says, this is a different case. Now we have a Hindutva government. So the problem lies with Hindutva word. The problem does not lie with the riots that took place in 1984, Kokrajhar, what happened in Kerala, 56 people killed in 10 years, writers. Professor T.S. Joseph, his hands were chopped off by the Islamic radicals because he prepared a question on Prophet Muhammad. Then no one demanded a letter from the Sahitya Akademi to his house. In fact, he has won the case. This May 2015, he has won the case. None of you went to his home. None of you wanted the question of satanic verses to be raised. None of you went to visit Taslima Nasreen when a woman was hounded out of Kolkata and she was in, no one knew where she was staying and she was in a bad state. No one wanted any.
I personally would like to further ask.
The Hindutva government is the problem.
No, not two voices on one side, MR. No. The question is put to Keki Daruwalla. And to Keki Daruwalla also I say once again, Mr. Daruwalla, I welcome the awakening of the conscience. I remember, however, if I am not mistaken, in Hyderabad, when Taslima Nasreen went there, and she was physically assaulted by members of Owaisi's party. I remember the time when she was hounded and forced to leave. Not one writer came out. So how come there was no sentiment in the case of Taslima Nasreen? Everybody was quiet then? And everybody is coming up now? I mean, now since you brought it down to writers, we speak only for writers, then why? By the way, you're not speaking only for writers, Mr. Daruwalla.
And Kamala Hassan in case of Vishwarupam.
Or in the case of
Kamala Hassan in case of Vishwarupam, the entire so-called intellectual.
Who replies? Mr. Daruwalla replies.
Give wrong information.
Sharmistha, Mr. Daruwalla replies. I come to you after that. Yes, the question was put by Sambit Patra to Mr. Daruwalla. It is his turn to reply. 5 to 10 minutes on the debate right now. Mr. Daruwalla's turn to reply on whether the move of the writers to return their awards now reeks of hypocrisy and selective outrage. Go ahead, sir.
I've written for Taslima Nasreen.
You haven't resigned, sir.
And Taslima Nasreen was not hounded by any of these two parties, the Congress or the BJP. It was hounded in Calcutta when the Marxists were in power.
So Kalburgi was killed by the BJP. No, what do you mean to suggest, Mr. Daruwalla?
No party, anti-no party,
what is he suggesting?
pro-no party.
But
facts have to be faced. People
what are you suggesting, sir?
To encourage or not to annoy.
So what are you suggesting, sir?
Fanatic fringe from the other side. From the other side, the Islamist side. And since they didn't want to annoy the fanatic fringe the Islamists.
You say that you went to Assam. And you say you went to Assam to see the violence and retaliatory violence in December 2014, right? Then you would be aware at that point of time of the kind of attacks that happened in 2012 earlier, the number of people who died in the backlash. Why were you not resigning then? Why was no position taken then? So I don't understand. Why do you forget your right to dissent in a certain situation?
2012, not 2014.
2012.
Okay.
2012, I'm telling you 2012, why were you not resigning from any positions then?
It had nothing to do with writing.
Really?
Because it had nothing to do with writing.
One second. The killing of Kalburgi, what does it have to do with writing? The killing of Kalburgi. Allow me to complete. One second. The killing of Kalburgi and the alleged silence of the Sahitya Akademi on the issue.
Don't rise up on riots.
Pardon me?
I am only talking about writing and writers.
Right.
That is why...
Akhlaq was not a writer, if I'm right. Akhlaq of Dadri was not a writer, but in fact, Nayantara stated the name of Akhlaq is number one reason.
Dadri is not about riots.
Was he a writer?
So you don't care about society. So I can kill anybody, but as long as I don't kill writers, you will not do anything. Are you trying to say this? Are you trying to say that if somebody kills a common man, you are not bothered, but you are bothered only when writers are killed? So you don't care about society.
Get a response from the other side, please. Anyone responding on the other side?
If you care about a particular...
You care about law and order,
I can't understand
you care about the society, character in totality.
I'm one for animal rights or for birds. So I'll speak up only when the birds are being killed.
Sorry, no. When Sarah Joseph...
No, sir. Then don't blame.
Okay, R Venkatesh is responding. R Venkatesh. 5 minutes of debate, R Venkatesh.
Please don't say you are intellectuals. Then you say you are as denominational as Lallu and Mulayam. You say my Jatwala has been killed, so I am protesting. That's all, period. Don't say we are intellectuals.
No, 1 second. An objection from Shobhaa. An objection from Shobhaa on the debate.
I object.
Shobhaa was saying,
you are reducing yourself. Is that your level of argument?
She has the right to question.
I object to this line of argument. I mean, every time there is some kind of dissent coming from a civilized, non-aligned section of society, people yourself try to dub people as pseudo-secularists, pseudo-intellectuals, pseudo-elite.
I never used the word pseudo-secularists. I never used any such language. You said we are only bothered when writers are killed. So I am asking you, why is it that the tag intellectualism comes with you? You should say we are as denominational as any of these people who are in the party.
You are talking to an apolitical person.
We can comment on it.
You are denominational, madam. And if you are denominational, you cannot be secular.
No, I do not agree with this.
You are pseudo-secular. You are targeting. You are not bothered about the entire country or the society.
How can you decide what I'm bothered about and what I'm not bothered about?
I want to protest against everything wrong. I stand with you. But I cannot say that you will be standing or holding only when a writer is killed. No, Mr. Daruwalla said so. I am not responding to it. I responded to Mr. Daruwalla.
My last question to the Congress in this part of the debate tonight. And by the way, let it be said very clearly. Some of those who have resigned, for example, like Sarah Joseph.
Congress has drank all the anger.
For Sarah Joseph, who said the Prime Minister, when Sarah Joseph resigned, she's asked, why have you resigned? She said, it's because the Prime Minister remained silent for 9 days after the Dadri incident. I give back the award against the protest of this union government. So it's not only about writers. Writers are not resigning only. Writers are not resigning only over writers. Writers are resigning over Dadri. In that context, since she's supporting this side, Sharmistha Mukherjee, my last question to you.
If that is the argument, they are damned.
If the Prime Minister's comments, MR, please, let me articulate this, man. If the Prime Minister's comments are all that it takes to keep up the image of an alert and proactive government, tell me, what did Manmohan Singh's first comments on Muzaffarnagar achieve? He expressed anguish over the loss of lives in Muzaffarnagar. Now what happened? What did he do? What was the Congress party's action at that point of time? You want to latch on, you know, Sharmistha.
You
just want to latch on to something
that,
now.
You know, I mean, the Prime Minister will not even make a comment after such a horrendous act.
So all this falls back to making a comment or not making a comment.
So it's not about writers.
No, it doesn't. It is you who asked me the question.
You are.
It is you who asked me this question. But I wanted to say that, you know, you are talking about, no, Mr. Sambit Patra, you don't need to shout. Let me speak. Let me speak. Because absolutely, you know, that the writers, yes, the writers, the artists, the intellectuals,
but when the culprits were caught, you all felt silent. You were demanding the Prime Minister to speak then. What do you think? He's the Prime Minister or supposed to make statements
you know, but whether they resign, what form of protest it will take, that is for them to decide.
I wish Nayantara Sehgal, in conclusion,
any kind of communal violence, they have always
they have to show their loyalty.
In conclusion, tonight all I say is everyone has the right to protest.
The regime has become so authoritarian that, you know, you are going to decide that how they are going to protest.
In conclusion,
Sonia Ji is going to decide.
But we will have a right to question, and you will have the right to answer.
All right. In conclusion, all I say is R Venkatesh, Sharmistha Mukherjee, Sambit Patra. All I say at the very end is this. All I say at the very end is this. 1 second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, please. It's my turn.
Society, remember.
Okay. Now, all I say at the very end. I wish Nayantara Sehgal had exercised a tremendous literary and other clout when Taslima Nasreen was hounded, and hounded in Kolkata, hounded in Hyderabad, and hounded out of India. I wish she'd spoken then. This debate will continue on the News Hour. Thank you for joining me on debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight. Thank you.